Hey everyone, this is Don Larry Pinless with episode 17 of Life of an Inventory Auditor. Today I'm going to talk briefly about scheduling. Last episode I forgot to put in the intro, so cue the intro here in 3, 2, 1. Scheduling in Regis has been interesting. When I first started with the company, you had to call in every week and see if there was any stores that you could do that week. I didn't particularly like that system. I don't particularly like calling people. But I eventually quit because the guy who was in charge of the area at the time had his favorites and he always worked in, and I rarely if ever saw any kind of schedule anyways, so I just stopped calling in. That was my way of quitting. I didn't say I quit or anything like that. Anyways, fast forward to when I come back in 2008. By that time they had switched over to sending people's schedules out by email. Now, I don't know how to capture and all that stuff, so I'll just briefly describe this to you. When you get a schedule, it's kind of like you get this kind of short box with the the day, the store, the meet time, and so forth, and like little squares, and each well, there are places where you can see something similar to that. But anyways, what's like so you can imagine what you want to see is a bunch of boxes, basically in the email the attachment that you open. And what is very disappointing is when you open up that email, that attachment, and there's in red letters that says, "Sorry, there's no inventory event scheduled for the week." That's always the most disappointing kind to get and especially when you get a long period of time, like a month or 2 or 3, where that's all you get is the red letters of doom, or at least that's what I call them. I haven't spoken to anybody else what they call it, but for me, and well, a lot of people I could talk to probably don't get very many of those emails where it's just there's no inventories. But anyways, that's basically what I want. Well, one of the things I want to talk about. And the other is just tell a brief story about I work for two companies, Regis and Varsity. Varsity, I pretty much know my schedule for varsity, unless of course it's like a spring break or winter break or whatever. I work Monday through Friday, 4 to 8, and that doesn't really change. I still enjoy working for Regis. Some people watching this will think I'm crazy because Regis, well, they think Regis sucks. Well, Regis, you know, just the nature of the work doesn't, it means it's not for a lot of people. Um, the crazy schedules, working evenings one day, and then working morning the next day. I know people, and I used to get this kind of schedule all the time, where you would work at a store in the evening and get off at about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and then turn around and go back to work a couple hours later. So you don't have a lot of downtime between stores at times. But Jesse, which is an area district manager for Ogden, called me the other day. I think it was Tuesday. She called and asked me if I could go to Brigham City on Wednesday. Because of the fact that well, first it was a Walmart. Walmarts always take forever. Second off, it's in Utah, which means I would have had to have canceled out of work with Varsity. The problem is, I don't think they mind if I work for Regis as long as I give them some notice. I usually try to give them a week's notice optimally. I like to give them a week or two notice before I, accept the schedule from Regis. I'm the reason part of the reason I turned it down was because I was somewhat of well, I'm kind of worried that if I, call in last second all the time with Regis, I would eventually get to the point where I might get fired from varsity. And right now, varsity is like really the main one that I get money from. So, and I felt bad about having to say no. If I could have, if I thought there wasn't a chance of me being fired or disciplined or whatever from varsity, I probably would have. I have a couple of stores coming next week. Um, but that I have already told varsity about them. And, I have to remind them next week before I go in each store. But anyways, when you have two jobs, you have to either both, well, there has to be accommodations for both. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say today. Thank you for watching if you have. Please give it a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you don't. Share your experiences with having two jobs and how you juggle the schedule between the two. And don't forget to share on social media and to subscribe for more Repentless content. This is Donald the Repentless signing off.